Hey there, I'm Nancy, 28, and I've been hustling as a hairdresser at Curl Up and Dye, this charming little salon in the heart of downtown. I genuinely love what I do. There's something almost magical about watching someone walk in feeling down, then seeing them light up with confidence after a fresh look. But here's the thing, I've got bigger dreams. Someday, I want to open my own place. Make my own rules, build my own brand. Anyway, I was putting the finishing touches on a killer balayage for one of my regulars, Tina, when my phone buzzed. Again, I didn't even need to look. I knew it was my sister, Megan. Girl, your hair is fire, I told Tina, flashing her a grin while trying to ignore the phone practically vibrating out of my pocket. Thanks, Nancy. You're a miracle worker, she said, admiring her reflection with a huge smile. The best part of my day, honestly. As soon as Tina left, I checked my phone. 5 missed calls and a text from Megan. Need your help ASAP. I sighed, dialing her back. Hey, Meg. What's going on? Nancy, thank God. I've got this interview tomorrow, and my roots are a mess. Can you fix me up? Pretty please. Her voice was tinged with that familiar urgency. I glanced at the clock. It was well past closing. Meg, I don't know. It's kind of late. Come on, sis. I can't afford salon prices right now. I'll make it up to you, I swear. That old familiar pang of guilt twisted in my stomach. Megan had been job hunting for months, and I knew she was strapped for cash. But this wasn't the first time she'd asked for a freebie. Fine, I sighed. Come by in an hour. As I hung up, my coworker and best friend Olivia poked her head around the corner, raising an eyebrow. You're not seriously staying late again for your sister, are you? I shrugged, a little defensive. She needs help, Liv. What am I supposed to do? Olivia rolled her eyes. Nancy, you've got to stop letting people walk all over you, even if it is family. It's not like that, I protested, but deep down, I knew she had a point. Just then, the bell over the door jingled, and in walked an absolute dreamboat of a guy. Tall, great hair, I always noticed that first, and a smile I could probably melt ice caps. Hey, I'm Jake. I'm new in town and desperately need a trim. Any chance you could squeeze me in? I glanced at the clock, then back at his hopeful face. You know what? Why not? Hop in the chair, Jake. As I worked on Jake's hair, we talked about everything. His recent move for work, our shared love of obscure 80s movies. By the time I finished, I was smitten. This is perfect, Jake said, running a hand through his freshly cut hair. Hey, I know this might be a bit forward, but would you want to grab a coffee sometime? My heart did a little flip. I'd love to, I replied, grinning. Jake left, promising to call, and I felt like I was on cloud 9. Maybe Liv was right. Maybe it was time to start putting myself first. But just as I was basking in that thought, my phone buzzed again. Megan. Reality crashed back in. I had a sister who needed me, dreams to chase, and a lot of decisions to make. And something told me life was about to get even more complicated. Later that evening, as I was applying bleach to Megan's roots, our manager, Sarah, tapped me on the shoulder. Nancy, can I have a word? My heart sank as I followed her to the back office. Look, she began, her tone a mix of concern and frustration. I've noticed you staying late, using salon products. If you're doing side work, we need to discuss it. No, it's not that, I stammered. It's just my sister. She's going through a rough patch. Sarah's expression softened slightly. I get it. I nodded, feeling a knot tighten in my throat. It won't happen again. But that promise was easier said than kept. Megan didn't just stop with her own hair. Soon she started bringing in friends, all with similar stories about why they couldn't pay full price. Nancy, you're an angel, her friend Tiffany gushed as I finished her highlights one night. I forced a smile, exhaustion seeping into my bones. It was nearly midnight, and I had an early start tomorrow. Just then, my phone buzzed. Jake, hey Nancy, I was wondering if you'd like to grab dinner tomorrow night. My heart leaped, then immediately sank as I remembered I promised to do Megan's friend Brittany's hair. I'm so sorry, Jake. I have plans I can't get out of. Rain check? I typed, feeling a pang of regret as I hit send. The next day, during lunch, Olivia cornered me. Nancy, what's going on? You look like death warmed over. I sighed. It's Megan. She keeps asking for favors, bringing in friends. I can't seem to say no. Olivia's eyes narrowed. You can, and you should. This is your career, Nancy, your dream. But she's family, I protested weakly. Family doesn't take advantage like this. Olivia shot back. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Megan. Hey sis, so remember my friend Chelsea? She has a date tonight and desperately needs her hair done. I told her you'd help. You're free after work, right? I stared at the message, feeling something inside me start to crack. Olivia's voice softened. Nancy, are you okay? I glanced at her, then back at my phone, swallowing hard. I don't know. The day wore on, each client, each call, and each demand pulling me in 1,000 directions. As I applied an updo on Chelsea that evening, I thought I was being discreet. But just as I finished, the door swung open, and there stood Sarah, arms crossed, her expression dark. Nancy, my office. Now. As Chelsea scurried out, I braced myself for the worst. Sarah didn't mince words. This is the last straw. One more freebie, and you're out. Understood. Shame burned my cheeks as I nodded. When she left, I dialed Megan, my hands trembling. We need to talk. Now. 30 minutes later, Megan strolled in, all smiles. What's up, sis? This has to stop, Meg. I nearly lost my job because of you. Her expression darkened. Excuse me, I'm not the one who agreed to it. Because you guilt-tripped me, you always do this. Oh, so now I'm the bad guy for asking my sister for help? Real nice, Nancy, real nice. I felt my temper rising. It's not just help anymore, Megan. It's constant. Free services, discounts for your friends. It's too much. Megan's eyes narrowed. Wow. Selfish, much? Wait till Mom and Dad hear about this. Their precious Nancy, too good to help her own sister. I stared, stunned. For the first time, I saw Megan clearly, the manipulation, the guilt trips, her utter disregard for my career and well-being. Get out, I whispered. Gladly, she snapped, slamming the door on her way out. I sank into a chair, shaking. Olivia found me there an hour later, the words spilling out, the ultimatums, the arguments, the shame. Olivia listened, her face growing darker with each revelation. Nancy, honey, I hate to say this, but your sister is toxic. She's been using you, and it has to stop. I nodded weakly, knowing she was right, but the thought of confronting Megan again made my stomach churn. The next day, as I grabbed supplies from the back, I overheard a client talking in the waiting area. I'm not sure about Nancy anymore. I heard she gives freebies to her sister's friends. What if she's using cheaper products and paying customers to make up for it? I froze, my blood running cold. How did they know? Then it hit me, Megan. She must have been spreading rumors. Fury rose inside me, hot and fierce. This was the last straw. I'd lost clients, risked my job, and now my reputation was on the line. All because I couldn't say no to her. Pulling out my phone, I typed with shaking hands. I know what you've been saying about me. We're done. Don't contact me again. Before I could second-guess myself, I hit send and blocked her number. A moment later, Sarah noticed my distress. You okay, Nancy? I took a deep breath. No, but I will be, I replied, taking a steadying breath. Sarah, I need to talk to you about something. As I laid everything out, the late nights, the free services, the way Megan had pressured me, it felt like a weight was lifting from my shoulders. For the first time in years, I felt like I was truly taking control of my life. After I finished, I looked up, bracing myself. I owe you an apology, I said. I've let my sister take advantage of the salon's resources. It was wrong, and it won't happen again. Sarah's expression softened. Nancy, I appreciate your honesty. We all make mistakes. Just don't let it happen again, okay? Relief washed over me. Thank you for understanding, I replied, gratitude filling my voice. That night, I did something I should have done months ago. I blocked Megan's number and removed her from my social media. As I hit that final block button, I felt a surge of liberation. A tinge of guilt lingered, but I quickly reminded myself of all the lies, manipulation, and stress I'd endured. No, this was necessary. The next day at work, I felt lighter, more focused. As I chatted with a client, I saw Jake walk in. My heart did a little flip. Hey, Nancy, got time for a trim? He asked with a smile. As I worked on his hair, we started talking. Turns out, Jake owned a successful coffee shop downtown. You know, Nancy, you've got real talent. Have you ever thought about opening your own salon? I laughed nervously. It's my dream, but it feels so far out of reach. Jake smiled. I thought the same thing before I opened my shop. Tell you what, why don't we grab coffee sometime? I can share some small business tips. Over the next few months, Jake and I met regularly. He helped me create a business plan, navigate loans and leases, and every meeting made my dream feel more achievable. 6 months flew by in a whirlwind of planning, saving, and hard work, and then finally, the day arrived. I stood in front of my very own salon, strands of joy, hardly believing it was real. Ready for this, boss lady? Olivia grinned, standing beside me. She'd been my rock through it all, and now she was my first employee. As ready as I'll ever be, I replied, my voice trembling with excitement. You've got this, Nancy. I'm so proud of you. A few weeks later, I was having dinner with my parents when my mom dropped a bombshell. Did you hear about Megan? She lost her apartment. Apparently, she's burned bridges with just about everyone she knows. I felt a pang of something, a mix of sadness and vindication. That's terrible, I said, and I meant it. Despite everything, I didn't want Megan to suffer, but I knew it wasn't my responsibility to fix her problems anymore. Dad looked at me expectantly. Maybe you could help her out? Give her a job at your new place? I took a deep breath. No, Dad. I can't do that. Megan needs to figure things out on her own. I have my own life to focus on now. As I drove home that night, I thought about how much had changed. A year ago, I would have dropped everything to help Megan, no matter the cost to myself. But now, I understood the importance of boundaries, of putting myself first sometimes. For the first time in my life, I felt truly, completely free. What would you do if a family member consistently took advantage of you? Would you cut ties like Nancy or handle it differently? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this tale of personal growth and setting boundaries, hit the like button and subscribe for more stories that'll get you thinking.